actually don't know if this will work, so we will just try it. But we can try it. So, hi guys! Cornelia here. I just wanted to record a video from my hotel room here in London. And by the way, it's such an amazing view. I think I have to show you. Check it out. Can you see this? Tower of London alert. Tower of London alert. Pretty damn cool, right? So let me see if I can move this closer. I can't. Totally started talking British now, but I'm going to move you over here. Because I think this will work the best. Okay, much better. I know, this is kind of weird in the background. I don't know if you can see. It's like a little bit weird. I'm gonna squeeze this in because it's a really beautiful light, and so I wanted to show you. I have all of my stuff on the pantry, so you shouldn't probably see this. So let's keep you over here. Okay guys, you guys, I wanted to show you this because, so I'm recording this right now in my hotel room here in London, and I showed you right now the Tower of London, which is a really cool view, I thought, of the castle. So I went to RADA for a week, which is the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts. So just think about Alan Rickman went there, Kevin Branagh, gosh, who else? Just a bunch of kind of like pretty famous actors and actresses that are really good at what they're doing. And you might wonder, why the heck did I want to do that, right? And so I wanted to do that because I took this class called Taking Text Apart. I don't know if you can tell. Got the certificate. And in essence, taking text apart is really cool because I wanted to learn how I can better storytell by essentially looking at just some cool stuff that's already been happening in the world that other people wrote. And so I wanted to learn, essentially this course was about learning how you can better tell stories, create stories, and how text has to do with that, and how words are so powerful in crafting stories. And if you've been following me for a while now, or if you're just new to my channel or to my videos, you probably know that I actually really love stories, and I'm trying to always tell stories in a sense in how I'm cutting my videos together or what I'm showing you guys. And I, of course, always think that I can get better at it, right? So I went to RADA, and I wanted to essentially give you guys a brief overview of some of the most important things that I've learned, which I thought was really important. So as you can tell, my accent is changing into some form of British accent right now because it was pretty amazing. Like, of the 12 people that were in the class, 4 people were British, and the rest was from all over the world. So I've been hearing non-stop crazy different accents the entire time. Point number 1, that was made, that I thought was really, really important. Besides the usual thing that you and I know about stories, which is kind of creating a beginning, a middle, and an end in everything that you're doing, in every content that you're creating. Another thing that's just important is to really figure out what your message is, right? Because you can't take the same basic story and you can tell it from so many different angles and perspectives that you still have a beginning, middle, and an end, but the message and what you're trying to say with that piece of story, right, can change completely. So it's really important that you're aware of how what you're telling is coming across. Does that make sense? And I thought that was a really interesting point because most of us, like, we're so focused on doing the beginning, middle, end part and trying to craft an interesting story or video or whatever it is. But I think oftentimes we forget, like, to look back and think, okay, so I told it from this perspective, which means this might, you know, sound like this or appear like this. And if I would tell it differently, then the story could look differently completely, right? Next thing, really cool tip. So let's say you're reading a book, right? Or let's say you have a chapter, or you're reading a play, or you are creating a presentation for your business, or you're creating a post, an Instagram post, for instance, for your followers, or a video such as this one for YouTube. The cool thing is, what you could do is that you create the overall scene or the overall topic that you want to talk about, and you divide it up in little units, and each unit you give sort of like a meaning, right? So one unit could be about introducing X, Y, and Z, and then you move forward, and then it can be about not just introducing X, Y, and Z, then it could be Joe enters, right? And then it could be the next unit could be the plot thickens, and then it could be like why this is important or something like that. And then you can call it something completely different. So in essence, you can call it like different things, but in what that does is it allows your brain to focus on different sections and make sure that when you're creating your overall story, that the different units are really focused on one essence, on what you're trying to get out of this paragraph, or this intro or whatever it is. So each unit is like is part of a little unit of a story. So that was really cool as well. So another important thing about the story is if you're standing up right now, which is really important, then you're going to go ahead and you're going to feel as if an energy ball is coming out of your head and goes all the way out of your tailbone, right? So you really stretch out your spine, you stand relaxed, your arms are at your side of your body, your legs are hip width apart, and you make sure that your head, oftentimes when we feel tense or feel nervous about speaking or telling a story or something like that, then what it does is we lift our chin up like this for some reason, and our voice, can you hear? It gets like tense and it sounds like not ourselves anymore. But when we move our chin down and we make sure that we keep that energy up in our spine and out of our forehead or out of our head, then what it does is that the voice can freely come out, right, and can really tell the story that you want to tell. So just make sure you keep this like relaxed and not tense it up this way or this way, because obviously then it wouldn't be good. But just keep it relaxed and keep your head sort of, your chin a little bit down, and then you have the perfect vehicle. You've created a perfect vehicle to really tell your story. I thought that was really powerful. Another thing that's really important is whenever we're doing anything, right? Like especially nowadays with videos online, with stories, IG or YouTube stories, whenever you're talking to someone, whenever you are, presenting, whatever it is, our body language, our non-verbal communication is so essential, right? And you can become really aware of that because there's a certain kind of energy with it. Because wouldn't even need to talk right now, but just from my eyes, for instance, you could see the intensity of what I'm trying to share with you, and from the hand gestures you could tell as well. I don't know if that worked right now, but I think you get it. Because if you're just standing like that and kind of like just talking like that and your eyes are like this tensed up, and like this is not a great way to tell a story. And especially if you're looking at, like, for instance, the top TED Talks out there, where the TED Talks with the most views, I've seen the study once before done, and the TED Talks with the most views is where the people actually use the most hand gestures they can possibly use. And this is not to say that you should use it, or you should try to move your hands crazily, but just try to find a natural rhythm within your body, within, yourself, that feels authentic and natural. And then if you use your hands that way, if you use your body this way, if you're trying to communicate something, right, however you move, this will way better, communicate your story with your audience, and it will resonate better that way. So that's another great tip that we've learned. And another great thing that we learned was essentially to never forget the playfulness when it comes to telling your stories. Don't ever forget how you to enjoy what you're sharing, right? If it's online or in person, don't ever forget that, because it's really important. Because so oftentimes we get caught up in everything else and we forget that playfulness, that joyfulness, right, that children especially have. And we did several exercises as well where we just essentially we're just focused on playing, with each other as well, and for ourselves, especially when you get on stage or when you're in the spotlight to present something. And so that's really important as well. So playfulness, big tip, don't forget it, have joy with it. Okay guys, and finally, do not forget your breath. The breath is so important, because let yourself be moved with your breath, or let your story be moved through your breath and how you're breathing, because this is really what is going to continue to energize you right throughout when you're sharing, also creating your story. So breath, really important. And before you begin to share as well, you can do breathing exercises, which is so powerful. So that's another great reminder that we've learned this week as well. And we've done exercises for. Anyways, you guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you guys. Of course, there's so many more things that we learned. I might record another video on this, but I just wanted to give you some of the basic ideas and key concepts that we have been talking about and done exercises for, because hopefully they will help you as well. You know, share your own stories and share your voice with your own audience as well. And if you like this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, share it with your friends, and I talk to you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.